lays his WBO junior welterweight title on the line against the former champion and a man he's faced before, Ener Julio of Colombia. 2 years ago, Washington, D.C.'s DeMarcus Chop Corley faced Colombia's Ener Julio for the first time. After 12 close rounds of back-and-forth action, Corley squeezed out a split decision. The following year, Julio met the undefeated WBO champion Randall Bailey. This bout proved to be a true slugfest. This time, however, Julio beat the odds, battered Bailey's eye, and captured the junior welterweight championship. But his joy was short-lived, as he was eventually stripped of his title due to inactivity. With Julio's title now vacant, Corley faced Puerto Rico's hot prospect Felix Flores. And in less than 3 minutes and a couple of uppercuts later, chop, drop, Flores to be crowned new WBO champion. So it has been 28 months since Corley and Julio last fought to that split decision. Now they will meet again, and the question lingers. Will it be a repeat for the champion or revenge for the challenger? Nick Charles here ringside again with Steve Farhood. Steve, I thought that first fight, after watching it, was a questionable decision. The other thing I thought is that neither guy ever really got into his rhythm. What can we take from their first meeting, and how can things be different tonight?
Well, I'll disagree with you mildly. I thought the decision for Corley was a fair one.
Don't be mild.
All right, you're wrong. I thought Corley won the fight by 2 points, and it wasn't really a hometown decision. But what I didn't like about Julio, he started too late. If he's smart, what he'll take from the first fight is he has to rev up that engine much faster. Of course, he's coming off a long layoff. It may be hard for him to get into the fight. Secondly, I don't like the way he fought a southpaw. Julio didn't use him any lead rights. He's 5'11", 6 foot tall. He didn't use his reach. He waited. He fought at one distance and at one pace the whole fight. As soon as he turned it up, Corley got in trouble. Corley took a knee a couple of times. Julio just has to get started faster, I think.
Well, the other thing is Corley basically has a new trainer since then. This is only the third time Bernard Roach will be training him, and he's done things differently.
Well, we saw him on Showtime against Felix Flores land 2 spectacular uppercuts. He's a dancer, and dancers very often don't use their feet, don't plant them into the canvas and get leverage. Now he's been doing that. That's the big improvement.
And there is the challenger, Ener Julio. Hasn't fought in a year and a half because of cataract surgery. His last appearance was electrifying, though, when he came to this city and took apart Miami native Randall Bailey to win the title. He was soon forced to give up. Julio is now the challenger for a belt that used to be his. He also feels he was robbed at his loss to Corley. Steve, I'm wondering if he's put that double blow behind him and can prevent his emotions from boiling over in order to focus on what he has to do.
Well, I think a little bit of emotion, Nick, will help Julio because he was just too lethargic the first time, especially in the early rounds against Corley. He's got a lot to prove against Corley, and he says he's still the champ. He looks at this as his first defense after beating Bailey. Corley's the quicker guy, and it's up to Julio to turn this really into a back alley mugging.
Well, as we look at Ener Julio, he's predicted that 7th round KO. We wait for the new champion to get into the ring. He is waiting as the challenger, Julio. The crowd silent right now. They'll be clearly on the Colombian side, I would think, with Julio.
Yeah, that's a big difference between the first fight, which took place in Corley's hometown, and this is a Hispanic crowd here, and they'll be for the Colombian.
Well, the boos are starting already as they rev up the catcalls, because here comes the guy with the belt as we await the ring arrival of the new champion. Here comes the entourage. There you see the belt, and what do we have here?
Bank robbery, I think.
Either that or a Bernard Hopkins wannabe.
Well, he's a designer. He designs his own ring outfits.
He does. It's all about entertainment, he said, but the Chinese symbols you see are the result of his trip to China when he fought on an undercard, of course, the Holyfield Ruiz undercard. But as we look at the new champion, DeMarcus Corley, flamboyant, feeling full of himself after his most recent fight last June 30th, when he destroyed, as you said, Steve, Felix Flores to win the 4 rounds. It will be a technical draw. After 4 rounds, it goes to the scorecards. Let's go up to Dave Lemon to get us started.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we welcome you to Miami Highlight, home of Highlight here in Miami, Florida. This is the main event of the evening, brought to you by Don King Productions in association with Showtime Championship Boxing. This bout is sanctioned by the World Boxing Organization, President Francisco Valcarcel, along with the Florida State Boxing Commission, Chairman Alvin Enton, Commissioners Alita Waldman, Jerry Wages, Dr. Donald Berry, and Executive Director Chris Meffler. Introducing the judges for this bout, Mr. Larry Hazard Jr. from New Jersey, Mr. Paul Herman from Florida, and Mr. Elmo Adolph, also from Florida. Your referee for this bout is Mr. George Alonso. All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us all around the world, is showtime. This is the WBO Junior Welterweight Championship of the World, scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. Introducing first in the blue corner, he's wearing the white trunks with the blue, red, and gold trim. He weighed in at 140 pounds. He has a record of 21 wins, 3 losses, 16 of those wins via the knockout. Please welcome the former WBO Junior Welterweight Champion, now ranked #1 contender, Ener, Julio. And his opponent, the defending champion, is right across the ring in the red corner. He is wearing the white sheath with the red trim. He is fighting out of Washington, D.C. He weighed in at 140 pounds with a record of 26 wins against just 1 loss. He has 1 draw, and 16 of those wins come by way of knockout. Tonight, making his first defense of the title, please welcome the current WBO Junior Welterweight Champion of the World, DeMarcus Chop Chop Corley.
With the 2 seconds? Yes, sir. With the 2 seconds? Yeah, right here. Well, I gave you the instructions to your corner and to your shoulder yesterday. I reminded you the dressing room earlier today. Want a clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Don't head after the break and don't head after the bell, okay? This is okay here. Julio, te di las instrucciones ayer y al camerino te las repetí hoy. Y que una pelea limpia, cuando digo break, me rompen en limpio, no me tire golpe después de la campana. ¿Alguna pregunta aquí? Any questions here? No, sir. Touch him up. God bless you. No,
Take us to the keys to victory, Steve.
The champion, DeMarcus Corley, used quickness to get close. Corley has to use his advantage to step inside of the Colombian's long arms. Chop Julio down to size. If Julio bends at the waist, Corley's uppercuts could be particularly destructive. And start quickly. Julio hasn't fought in 18 months. Corley can take advantage by building an early lead.
Ready to go. Jorge Alonso is the referee, but let's go to
And Julio, turn up the volume. Julio has to prove his resiliency. He needs to turn this into an all-action fight. And lead with big shots. Jabs are generally useless against lefties. Julio needs to lead with straight rights. Get busy, stay busy. This time, Julio will be the crowd favorite. If he punches often enough, he'll give the judges no excuses to deny him the decision.
So that's the full layout as we get ready to go here in Miami. DeMarcus Corley coming straight ahead. You know, a guy that wears a sheath better be able to fight, Steve. That's how they described it, not me.
He's showing a little too much leg for my taste, let me tell you.
Corley is in mostly the red and white, I would call it. And we see Julio very cautious, the taller man at 5'11". You touched on the fact, will he use his height. DeMarcus Corley says no, he's going to fight. He's got to sit and plant, and he knows he's going to want to brawl and make it inside.
That's it. Julio didn't use his reach at all in the first fight. His jab was totally ineffective.
And he's not standing tall right now, Steve, for a guy 5'11".
Punched over, and that's very dangerous against Corley, whose best punch, at least judging by that Flores fight, is his uppercuts, both hands.
Look at the concentration in the eyes of both men. Pure feeling out. The first round, always dangerous. Let's see with Corley's newfound power. He rubbed out Flores in his last appearance. Counter right hand by the champion, Corley. Julio hasn't fired much, Steve.
Well, you don't think he'd need to study his opponent, being that they've gone 12 rounds already.
You touched on him starting more aggressively. Halfway into round one, we have not seen it.
Yeah, with the exception of Willie Pep, no fighter has ever won a round without throwing a punch.
28-year-old Ener Julio, mostly in the white with the gold trim. Marcus Chop Chop Corley of Washington, D.C., the champion and the southpaw. Corley there tries a combination, tries to work in behind the jab, but mostly content to loop those right hooks. A real feeling out process here.
Well, for Julio, it could be ring rust. 18 months off after that war with Randall Bailey.
Says he's been in the gym seriously since September for this fight. Never really out of the gym during the off. And there's a combination by Corley that landed. And right now is enough to give him the round. Julio hasn't done anything. Trying to read the southpaw. And Corley moving the way he wants, right, but now going left.
You see, Corley's quick. I mean, if you're just going to throw a loose punch out there, a lazy jab, you're not going to hit him.
Slick, evasive southpaw. Did he do enough to win the first round?
Well, Corley clearly won. He was the only one landing any punches.
Right.
You know what? Excellent. Excellent. Wasn't I'm hard about that. This is what I want you to do. Mouthpiece. This is what I want you to do. I want you to relax a little more. When you go in, your left hand got to be up high. Remember, he gets tight and dip before he punches. Remember, don't forget that. He's circling.
Quick. Get off quick. Get off quick. Got it smart. Play it smart. Play it smart. Throw your right hand.
Get off grip. How about get off? That's what we'd like to see. Interesting thing, they're saying that Bernard Roach in the corner of the champion, Corley, says that obviously they think Julio's one of these setters. He's got to plant and throw shots. So the champion's got to use his jab more, and he didn't do it in round one. So let's see if he picks up the pace. Julio much more forceful so far, first few seconds of this round. Can he move Corley, the southpaw, to the left and into his right hand? Corley darts out of danger, resets himself, dips low, and there goes the jab. He's short with it a couple of times, and now they trade against the ropes, and they bang away. Good speed and some good power shots by Corley.
All Corley in that exchange, way too fast for Julio.
Corley said he's not as much on his toes anymore. He will sit down on his punches more, and that's made him a harder hitter. And here he begins to wing shots, and it's Julio tying it up and trying to slow down the onslaught here in round two.
Julio looks a little shaken there. His head was snapped by those shots.
And Julio in his last fight, the Bailey fight, albeit a long time ago, showed a tremendous jab, which we haven't seen once here. But as again, Steve, you say it's usually ineffective against the southpaw.
Yeah, have Julio on our records as being 28 years old, born in 1973. He looks about 38, his face, and he's fighting like he's about 48. I don't have a birth certificate, but I don't know if he's 28 years old. Don't you think he looks a little older than that?
He does. He's got a welt over his nose, too, on the left side. Again, the taller guy, but it's all been negated so far by DeMarcus Chop Chop Corley, the southpaw, and the champion. And knocks him down there with a shot that was left hand that did it. Boy, Ener Julio looks out of it, Steve.
He does. He's not in the fight. He's really not in the fight. Let's see if Corley tries to
jump on here and pull the plug. Would you? I don't think this guy's laying in the woods.
Corley has to stick to his style, but right now when he flurries, he's not really in any danger of getting caught. I want to see one of his uppercuts.
Chopping right that lands by Corley. Corley digs to the body. That was Julio's plan. Make it a brawl, go to the body, and take the champion's legs away. We haven't seen any offense in motion from the challenger in white. DeMarcus Corley. And that's hitting a guy on the way down, Steve.
Hey, don't move. Let's go.
Referee Jorge Alonso makes that clear. End of round 2. Knockdown, slip, push.
Not a knockdown, but another round for Corley.
As we listen in.
It's been all Corley. He got back to the ropes, so Julio had where he wanted him, but it only worked against Julio.
Impressive flurry there by the champion.
Very fast hands, a little wide on his shots, but very fast hands. Here's the knockdown, yeah. Really, the other shots, until that straight left, the other shots kind of cuffed him on the forehead. It was a straight left. Good shot. I don't like the legs on Julio. You don't
exactly.
Either, right?
They're just not there. Which is an indication of a guy who hasn't shaken the ring rust off.
Yeah, and that was not a knockdown, more of a push, but again, an indication that Julio's legs are not what they were before that 18-month layoff while he had his cataract surgery.
I think he's finding a champion this time, Steve, who punches with more conviction, too. I think Julio thought he could punch through the weaker guy. And who he thought was the weaker guy as Corley wrestles Julio to the ground.
Julio has to get angry. He's got to get mad. That's what happened in the first fight. In the 8th round, he came out like he really wanted to pick a fight, and it worked for him.
The alarm clock hasn't gone off yet here. Round number 3. And the champion, DeMarcus Chop Chop Corley, is having it his way. And there with another counter right hand.
That's a knockdown.
The challenger in his tracks. Definitely a knockdown. That right hand just froze Julio, and they're asking him, how much heart do you have to continue? It seems. Julio still not throwing many punches and just cuffing the champion now and hanging on with still 2 minutes to go in round 3.
Just seems like Corley got a lot more confidence out of his win over Felix Flores to win this WBO title than Julio did in his war with Randall Bailey.
Snapping that jab right now, moving to his right, now again to the left. Maybe looking to go up the middle there with that uppercut. The left-hander could camouflage that left uppercut pretty well, Steve, and perhaps that's a plan here at Corley's.
I'm surprised we haven't seen that punch yet. That's his best punch, and he's been working on it.
There's a left counter that lands, and a right as Julio soaks up punishment here.
There was the right uppercut. It missed, but he threw it. There it is again.
Julio is tentative, seriously out of sync, and taking a pounding to the body right now against the ropes.
Nothing coming back from Julio when Corley flurries. Say what you want about the first fight. It wasn't one-sided. So far, this is one-sided.
Corley definitely punching with more conviction, perforating Julio in a way I thought he never did it in the first fight. Outworking him even inside. Slipping out of danger with an evasive style. Julio finally landed a punch. Chopped to the right that missed. Corley pulls up short on his shots. Here comes Corley forward, sticks the jab twice. Jab is short.
Very cool. Corley's very cool. Used to be managed by Ray Leonard, another fighter who was always cool in the ring. Maybe he learned some of that cool from Ray. But he is just relaxed in there. He's having fun.
Looks very complete, Steve. Hasn't really made a mistake. And has dictated the action so far. 9 minutes into this fight. And at this stage, you got to wonder, can Julio go a distance? So the second knockdown of the fight through 3 rounds.
Yeah, it was legit. Yeah, I think it was a right hook. Watch for the right hook by Corley. It was a cuffing shot, but nonetheless, because Julio was punching at the same time, he was sort of off balance, and he went down, but doesn't matter. As a result of a punch, whether that punch is hard or soft, the knockdown counts. And there you go. Where is the return from Julio? Look how many punches. That's got to be 10, 11 shots from Corley. Nothing back from Julio. He looks shot.
So some bursts of real power there by the champion.
Come back with a 23, a good solid 23. Don't overcrowd your right hook. Keep your hook short. You catch him with
Bernard Roach with instructions, but really very little to fine-tune on a guy who's, again, pitching a shutout. DeMarcus Corley, champion in red and white. Stays out of danger there as Julio definitely is pressing forward now, but getting beat to the punch repeatedly. He's moving in to Corley's shots.
No, let him go, let him go. Let him go now. Oh, right. I got it.
Challenger takes a couple of right hands to the jaw. No, he can't get his offense in gear.
He can't, and we sort of build this as a pressure fighter against the boxer. The boxer is the puncher now. He has nothing to fear because Julio's so slow. Corley just oozing confidence.
Corley digging in, and there goes the uppercut.
Low blows, and no second referee in a row now not acknowledging the low blows.
Julio just kept keeping his elbows in, his gloves up, and doing very little to return any favors. There goes that right hand by Julio.
Best punch of the fight for Julio so far.
Corley wild with his right. Julio squared up now and coming forward, missing with his jab. He said he wants to make it a brawl. And there's a right to chill the champion. So, another flush shot by Julio. He's beginning to wake up here in round 4. Corley, though, content to stand and slug there and then dip out of danger. Julio looks slow, Steve.
He does. Now, it might be a mistake for us to count him out because he showed such resiliency in beating Randall Bailey in a tremendous fight. But right now, there's really nothing to hang your hat on if you're looking, if you want Julio to win.
2 right hands in this round. Corley coming back here. Tries the uppercut. Julio puts the pressure on, but not punching behind it, not coming in with anything. And getting beat to the punch here again. Corley avoids danger and wings some shots to the body.
Corley's got to get off the ropes. That's not a good place for him. He tired in the first fight. Conditioning was a problem. Maybe if Julio sticks around long enough, Corley will punch himself out. Maybe conditioning will be a problem again.
Corley does look like he's a little arm weary at this point. But there goes a little chopping left that lands just before the end of round 4.
It took 4 rounds, but a fight broke out.
There's Julio acting like he just won the championship.
Let's go.
So, Steve, after 4, how do you have it?
39 to 35 because of all the knockdowns. I still have Corley well in front.
You got to work hard. You got to work hard. You got to work hard. Vaseline, give him some Vaseline. Massage his body. Massage your body. Come on, watch out for your defense.
Second fight in a row, we've seen low blows gone virtual. That was low. I mean, he hit him in the writing, that Chinese writing, which spells out Corley's name, and the referee, Jorge Alonso, did not acknowledge it.
Right hand by Julio there. There's some conviction. And it's clear that Ener Julio's corner agrees. His man has to bring more heat, slip and counter some shots with power. There's no question Ener Julio has power, Steve.
And he's very physically strong.
Not that he's displayed it, but there he goes trying to track the champion down and make it a brawl. What's Corley doing in the corner?
Exactly. Corley may be a victim of his own success earlier in the fight when he was landing everything he threw. He thinks he's the puncher now, and he's trying to take his opponent out instead of doing what he does best.
Content to trade with Julio, who's got his head basically pinned to Corley's chest as he wings away. And going to the body a little bit there, maybe trying to take away Corley's legs. That would be one strategy that makes sense. Is Corley slowing down at all, Steve?
He's slowing down in that he's showing less movement. He's more willing to trade. You see how close the fighters are now to each other. They were at much more of a distance the first 3 rounds. And even if Corley lands a lot of combinations, that still is a better scenario for Julio.
Why is Corley so difficult to hit cleanly? Especially, look, from in close like this. He's taking away the guy's space, and he's long arms of Julio. But what's your opinion?
I think he's just got great reflexes. I think it's that simple. A lot of quick southpaws at this weight. Judah and Sean Bay Mitchell, and Sean Bay from the same town as Corley. They've sparred quite a lot together.
Now if you add some power to the mix, which Corley has displayed to some degree here, you got a much more dangerous fighter. Julio has definitely revved his engines here, throwing more shots than he has in any previous round, but he could be getting a little wary as a result.
Now what they're doing now is what they did in the first fight in rounds 8, 9, 10. This time it's happening earlier. Maybe that's for Julio's advantage.
Corley with a nice counter right hand to the jaw, but Julio is pressing the attack.
Whoa,
he gets stunned there by a left from Corley. Good, clean shot, flush, and there's a right that lands by the champion. Julio looking at his corner for a moment there as he takes another shot, absorbing blows from Corley here in the final minute of round number 5. As they stand and try to blast, but Julio looks a little arm weary to me. He's getting rapidly beat to the punch here.
Yeah, Corley beating Julio in his own game.
Good combination there by Corley as they end round 5, and I don't know why Julio has his hands up. Who won the round, Steve, in your opinion?
Corley.
Right. Mine also.
Vaseline. Come on, you gotta go make the fight. Make the fight. Come on.
Julio's been successful the last 2 rounds at shortening the distance where he can use that. You see the forearm, the right hand, the big right hand. And if he landed that last right that missed, he really would have had Corley in trouble.
Oh, nice counter.
Yeah, Corley's left hand, he scored 2 knockdowns. He didn't do that in the first fight. And that has enabled him to build a big lead on points.
And we go to round number 6 here in Miami. DeMarcus Chop Corley is the left-hander. Ahead in this one against Ener Julio. This is a rematch. They fought 28 months ago And Corley won a split decision.
They have just started so much faster than they did in the first fight. First fight for 6 rounds was sort of slow, boring, nothing happening. The second 6 rounds were real good.
Now they're in close. And Julio landed an uppercut. Not a lot of steam on his shots, but there, they're getting through. Corley with his back on the ropes. And he just doesn't need to do that unless it's a macho thing to prove to Julio that the challenger can't hurt him.
Corley strategically did not respond well in the first fight when Julio turned up the heat.
With his boxing ability, there's no need to try to trade with this guy.
Yeah, I agree with you. And he's not responding well now either. I don't know if Julio has the strength or the legs and the technique to win this fight, but in a sense, he has Corley right where he wants it.
Right. Corley just waiting for Julio to volley with something, and now digging to the body and then going upstairs, doubling his hook. Corley still taking shots in return.
But Corley looks to be the more effective puncher because his hands are so much faster. There's a low right hand.
He's definitely winning the war inside here and out-muscling Julio, who isn't discouraged, but who's getting beat to the punch. And the champion with much cleaner combinations here, getting through.
Goes back to his boxing.
Corley discourages Julio there, who's trying to measure his man, lining him up with some lefts. And is this a fatigue move again, taking a knee? Or
no knockdown, and Corley got hit twice while he was down. I thought it was a replay of the first fight where Corley took a knee.
They'll take a point away from the challenger.
You all right? You okay? Timing.
Wow.
2 points it cost Julio, which is lethal at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, Corley goes down, and instead of winning the round 10-8, Julio loses a point. So it's like a 3-point swing.
And not even halfway through this fight, it's apparent Ener Julio is going to have to knock DeMarcus Corley out. He's dangerously behind and maybe hopelessly behind on the cards now. But here comes Corley with that right. And now they're halfway home.
You can lose this fight is bang with him on the inside and get knocked out. Turn him, son, turn him, you hear me? Turn him. It's easy now. From this point on, it's easy. He like 6 points down, you understand? Do you understand me, Chuck?
Yes. You sure? First thing to judge here, did Corley go down voluntarily? I think he did. His hands were both wrapped around the neck, and then you see the 2 shots that cost Julio. And rightfully so. Good call by referee Jorge Alonso.
See it again there. What made Corley go down? Not a punch.
Julio leaned forward. Maybe his weight pushed Corley down, but I thought Corley kind of went down voluntarily.
DeMarcus Corley is definitely dictating pace and the flow of this action against a guy bent on vindication coming in, and he talked about a 7th round KO. That's Ener Julio's prediction, and we're in the 7th round.
And if Julio didn't have enough problems, that was ruled an intentional foul by the referee. 2-point deduction, not 1. A 10-7 round on my part for Corley.
Julio with a flurry there, but before that it was the champion with a right that landed. Chanting Julio. But he looks off balance and his offense isn't flowing, Steve.
He's still in the fight. He's way behind on the cards, but it's up to Corley. I really think consistency is a characteristic that's underrated in boxing at the top level. Corley was not consistent the first time he fought Julio. He has to show he can box or fight rounds 7 through 12 this time, as well as he fought rounds 1 through 6. That's what remains to be seen.
Julio flicks his left, it lands. Corley with his hands down momentarily. Corley's trainer, Bernard Roach, told him, and perhaps a little prematurely, you can't lose this, even though we did say that a few moments before, unless he knocks you out, so don't get careless. But if Corley goes outside and tries to look too pretty, the crowd won't like it, but he'll still win a decision.
Smart move here strategically by Corley. I think he's resting a little bit. He threw a lot of punches the first 6 rounds, and his man is still here.
How fresh does Julio look to you, Steve?
He didn't look fresh at the start. He doesn't look fresh now, but he's effective. He's a war horse, and he's got Corley in the kind of fight that he needs to win. Trouble is, he's about 93 points behind on the cards.
He's not jabbing with the champion, not throwing his jab through the champions. And there's very little element of surprise with that right hand. But Corley is there as a target. No matter how elusive he is, when you're squared up against the ropes, you could be hit. Now the champion spins out. There goes Julio with a combination that stirs the crowd.
I still think Corley's landing the hardest shots, but the effect of the shots when Julio throws and lands seems to be greater. Corley shows more of a reaction to the shots. Trading low blows there, huh?
Perhaps it's just it's a question then of who takes a better shot. But if Corley's the more accurate fighter who's piling up points, he's getting it done.
You got to throw more punches. You got to throw more punches. You got to knock him out. Come on, come on. You got to throw more punches. So give me some Vaseline. Some Vaseline. Come on, you got to throw more punches. You got to hit some more.
Let's go now to a third member of our broadcast team, Tim Smith. What do you have, Tim?
I'm with Chris Medford, the executive director of the Florida Commission. He's going to explain exactly what happened with the 2-point deduction on Ener Julio.
Okay, the fighter in the red corner, Corley, had slipped over here in the neutral corner. As the referee was going toward it, the fighter in the blue corner, Julio, hit him while he's down. The fighters are told at the rules conference that intentional foul is a mandatory 2-point deduction, and they are further told that you do not hit the man when he's down. If he hits him down a second time, it's a mandatory disqualification.
Okay, so he was clearly warned. Thank you very much, Commissioner Medford. So he's clearly warned, Steve.
Okay, it's now the 8th round here, and Julio trying to pour on some pressure. He definitely has to juice up his attack. Corley obligingly on the ropes. Mistake again. He gets popped with a right there. Steve, they're right in front of us. Who has more bite to their punches?
I still think Corley is landing the harder shots because he's faster, but when he gets hit, there's more of an effect, just like I said last round.
So nothing changing here as this fight falls into a familiar pattern. Julio wants to make it a brawl, but then seems to get outgunned once he does.
Well, that was a butt there.
It's definitely a butt, but it seemed to slow up the champion. It's wide open there as he missed a wild left. Now Julio trying to hunt his man down. Corley wild again with a couple of rights. Hands are low. Julio just bull rush in with nothing behind it, so not working off any jab. Not firing the short element of surprise right hand, although he tries it there and misses. Corley is still elusive enough. Asking for a break and getting it. Julio coming forward. Not much behind him as he gets raked by a left hand from the champion. Inside a minute to go in round number 8 here. Corley slowing down, Steve?
He is. He's tired. He's tired.
I really the same point he got tired in the first fight.
8th round, yep.
Now it's him doing the hugging. Corley bounces as if to say, I'm still fresh. Well, some very good head movement by the champion. And there goes the jab as he picks up the pace here. He begins to move.
If Corley's hands were any lower, they'd be scratching the ground.
And a right hand by Julio picked up on that, exactly on that cue. The inviting target as Corley is once again backed up against the ropes. As he battles back off the ropes.
His hands are down, he's vulnerable.
As they close out round number 8.
Real rough. Give me the water bottle. You're making it real rough. You got to dig down. This is what you hear me? Dig down this round. Dig down. Chop.
Yes, it is round number 9 coming up.
What you doing is making it hard. You hear me? You got 3
Come on, you gotta give me some speed. Give me some speed. Give me some hand speed. Come on, come on. You listening? Come on, I want some more speed on those hands. Give me some more speed.
I don't know if this headbutt got acknowledged by the referee. It was Julio coming in, yeah. He was at a bad angle. I don't think he saw it. And Corley seemed to be affected by it.
Okay, they want more speed out of Ener Julio. We haven't seen it all night. He's been beat to the punch, but there he picks up the pace considerably. And I still say the best way to do that is to do something behind that jab and work off it. He's a tall, rangy guy, and come in with your power shots. Punch through Corley. A little bit of hesitancy there, though, Steve. Corley certainly gotten Julio's attention. He's a much more powerful guy than he was when they fought 28 months ago.
Corley opened this round about 5 seconds ago with a couple of jabs, a double jab. We haven't seen much of that. He's so intent on landing power shots, and he's been fighting so close to Julio, he hasn't been able to use his hand speed and his jab.
Julio backing up right now, resetting. Laying that lazy jab out there.
Exactly. I was about to say Julio should time that jab, fire off his back foot with that right hand.
Right. Let go, Julio. Stop. No, hey, don't do that. Hey, come on, Julio.
Now it's Corley coming forward. Thumps a couple of right hands to the head. This is with a long right.
Julio bleeding from the mouth.
Definitely a slip there. Julio moving with intent, but then coming up with nothing behind it. Losing this round.
I agree, and he lost his, not just losing the round, losing momentum, which he had. There's that uppercut by Corley. We haven't seen many of those. Dangerous punch to throw from too far outside.
Corley goes straight down the middle there a few times. Now Corley trying to start it to the right, which would favor him, making it tough on the right-hander to get through. Julio lands, though, with a right that time. As they circle to the left, Corley will try to go up the middle. And does, landing a combination.
I can't help but project if Corley fought this kind of fight against Acosta-Tzu, a guy who can land big for all 12 rounds, he'd be in real trouble.
Oh. He could get vaporized. He doesn't have to stand around this much. But nonetheless, an impressive display by the champion. I can't take much away from DeMarcus Corley here.
No.
And that's the end of round number 9.
That's your boxing. Now your boxing.
The next 3 rounds do the same thing.
You hear me?
See if that blood is coming from the ear.
That's what, Chop.
See if it's got blood coming out of the left ear.
Chop. You okay?
Listen, Chop.
12 rounds. Three more rounds, 9 minutes, and you still the champ. Box him and turn him. Box him and turn him. It's easy. Box and turn.
Who wants to left ear?
Turn around. Come on, baby.
Punches are heading in the elbow and sliding down. The punches are heading in the elbow and sliding down. The guy's pushing him down.
Come on, what's wrong with you? What's happening here? Come on, you got to stay in there. Stick with it. Stick with it.
Steve, is Julio fighting the wrong fighter? Is it the only way he knows how to fight? It's easy to say a guy's tall and should be able to get it done from outside, but is he even capable of that? It's too late.
Yeah, it's not his style. His style is to be physical. And he's successful right now in that style. He's getting Corley to fight his fight, but he's not winning doing it.
He's got to throw some shots and have any kind of chance. And he's got to land a big one. Bernard Roach, Corley's chief trainer, told him 9 more minutes, box, move, give him angles, but it's not happening so far as the macho takes over a little bit. And Corley flurries and hot dogs and tells Julio to come to him and take a beating.
Can Julio win a fight taking 9 shots for every one he lands? That's really what it's coming down to right now.
Corley with some combinations. In the center of the ring now.
Come on now, come on, break out of there.
Referee asks him to break, and they fire away again. Now it's Corley up on his toes. Goes left, and try that up the middle shot again that lands. Nice left hand by Corley. Seems to be having a time of it, just a good time here. Perfectly composed, absolutely confident. And Julio doesn't have the goods to take his title.
A lot of arm punches now from Corley because he's not set, moving around laterally. But you see how difficult it is for Julio to land anything when Corley's moving. Wow, ruled a slip.
Wow.
I saw a right hand.
I did too. Be anxious to see that one again. I debate that just on first glance, Steve.
I agree.
Corley a little embarrassed by it all. Inside a minute to go in round 10. Julio moving with intent now. I don't know how much steam he's got left, though. But as you said, he is a dangerous fighter. But he's got to turn it up a notch and get through.
Let him go, Julio. I got it. No punches. No punches.
Never really punctured the champion. He gets stopped in his tracks there by Corley with a combination. 15 seconds to go in this round. Julio warned to the elbow there. And now some showmanship or hot dogging, depending on the word, from the champion Corley, who lands a left just before the bell. Steve, it's academic perhaps, but how exactly do you have it through 10?
I want you to stay strong.
97-90 for Corley. Julio lost a chance for a point when that was ruled. In that round, a slip and not a knockdown.
You got 6 minutes, right?
Okay, let's see it. Slip or knockdown?
You know what? I think he got hit by a shot, but I also think,
it was a
as you see it
combination
again,
of both. But
Julio's left foot is on Corley's lead foot. So I think you still have to rule it a knockdown. Yeah, the right hand went around Corley.
Didn't Chuck Wepner do that to Ali?
Yeah. Watch the feet. Watch Julio's left foot. It's right on Corley's right foot. Yep. Chuck Wepner Ali. Good call, Nick. Yeah.
Turn the left
It's
hand.
actually a little bit like that, but I would not put the one guy in the one guy's class. So I'm not saying who.
Corley's not the greatest yet. Right?
You said it. 11th heat here, scheduled for 12. Ener Julio has survived, trying to make the fight, but so far hasn't solved the riddle that is DeMarcus Chop Chop Corley.
The only way Julio was going to win this fight, after all those points he lost early, was to outwill, not outskill Corley. And to Corley's credit, while he hasn't fought strategically brilliantly in the second half of the fight, he's not letting Julio outwill him.
I agree.
He's still here.
No.
He's taken his best in return of favor. Julio tries to come in with that right. Tries a right to the body. Eats a jab in return here.
Good job right now by Corley of buying time.
Julio with some serious swelling there. Left eye outside the right cheek, the left cheekbone, high off the cheekbone.
Corley's attitude is if Julio's not going to press the fight, fine.
He could walk to victory, but I hope he doesn't.
No le dobles el codo.
Julio hands down, or Julio trying to get into Corley, who's left his hands down low.
I think what you see right here is like in a basketball game when a team's down 20, they make a great comeback, but they use so much energy coming back that by the time they're even, they don't have the energy to finish. Julio made a brief rally, but he looks tired now. He doesn't have the energy to finish strong.
No logs left in that fire. A tap really on the top of the champion's head. Julio not punching with much conviction.
Julio's legs look real bad, but I don't know if Corley's going to try to take advantage.
He's out there to be taken, it looks like. His chin hanging out. But Corley playing it safe, as we both agree he should. 20 seconds to go in round number 11.
Julio says, that's all you got?
It's enough. To bring it to the champion, knowing he needs a knockout to win this, and he's got one round to do it. With his arms up, maybe he thinks it's over.
Gives you an idea of how awesome that reach is, which he doesn't use, by the way.
What can you tell a guy at this point, Steve?
Come on, give me some water. I need some water. Where's the water? Where's the water?
Him
Gotta
first.
tell him more than
Don't
that.
worry about nobody else. You take care of him. Worry about him. Come on, man. Come on,
Well, I wonder who Bernard Roach was implying he was worried about. Maybe somebody in the audience, but DeMarcus Corley here. Will look to box his way to victory.
Corley's done a good job from even before the fight started of keeping his cool. You know, Julio's people were in his face in the ring before the fight started. Julio's been chippy with some of his tactics. Now Julio pounding his chest to say, I've got the heart, you don't. Corley's kept his cool, kept his composure.
Let him go. I got it. I got it.
comes Corley.
Suéltalo, Julio, suéltalo, vamos.
Julio with some serious swelling above the left eye. Look at that lump. And on the cheekbone near the ear. He has been absorbing right hands all night.
Let him go, chop, chop.
And he soaks up more shots there. And Steve, I agree, the infighting is really something that I thought Corley would be wise to avoid and couldn't win. But he's won those wars.
He has, but at the same time, that's still giving Julio his only chance at victory.
Ener Julio in white with the gold band needs a knockout to win. And he's got a minute 33 to get it.
3 rounds in this fight, Nick. 2, 3, and 6, where Ener Julio scored less than 9 points on my card. That just crippled him. He crippled any chance he had of winning.
How many rounds did he actually win on your card?
I gave Julio 3 rounds. The 4th, 7th, and 8th.
Let him go, chop, chop. Tú estás suelto, Julio, tú estás suelto.
Based on this performance, again, DeMarcus Corley not ready for a Costa-Zoo.
I don't know if any of them are ready for Costa-Zoo. If Zab Judah lasted 2 rounds, you know, I mean, that's tough. Costa-Zoo's that good. He's a pound-for-pound fighter, but I'd like to see Corley again against a different style of opponent.
This is no time to hot dog, Ener Julio. It's time to fight. He is running out of clock, running out of rounds, running out of hope.
Indeed, Corley is a relatively inexperienced fighter at the world-class level. Prior to this fight, the only fighter I'd say he ever fought who was world-class was Ener Julio the first time.
It's a good performance here, but I agree with you, Steve. He is far from ready from the guy everybody knows is the champion at junior welterweight, the guy who really rules the world.
Exactly. Yeah, and Julio, the war with Randall Bailey and an 18-month layoff, too much to overcome.
And a rather inauspicious finish here in Miami as DeMarcus Chop Chop Corley gets it done with a fairly impressive win over Ener Julio, who doesn't get his revenge.
So it's up to Larry Hazard, Paul Herman, and Elmo Adolph to confirm what we think.
Steve, we see some of the tactics in this fight.
Yeah, I made reference before to rounds 2, 3, and 6. We take a look. That's a 10-8 round right there. A straight left from Corley. That's a knockdown and 2 points there. And then that one, I don't know. I don't know if Corley went down on his own or, as the commission said to us, he slipped. Elementary in terms of how the points are going to be given out in this fight.
You know, a quick reminder, later tonight on Showtime, it's the second half of our transcontinental doubleheader when WBO 126-pound champion Julio Pablo Chacon defends his title against Victor Polo here on Showtime. Plus, 4-time world champion Johnny Tapia takes on Eduardo Alvarez in a 10-round featherweight attraction. It's the special same-day coverage from York Hall in London, later at 10 Eastern and Pacific, only on Showtime. That is one serious welt.
Thank you for letting him fight on his undercard again.
Okay, I don't know why this one should be hard. We are waiting for the tallies.
Well,
Steve,
when you
had it.
Yeah, I had it 116,
exactly.
116, 109. But I guess when you have all those 7s and 8s to add up as opposed to 9s.
That's right. It might throw him off stride, but there's no doubt about this one. You're looking at the, safe to say, still WBO junior welterweight champion, and they're the vanquished challenger, Ener Julio. And now, Dave Lemon's got the card and has the official call.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. Judge Paul Herman scores the bout 119 to 105. Judge Larry Hazard Jr. scores the fight 117 to 107. And Judge Elmo Adolph scores the bout 118 to 107 for the winner, who retains his WBO Junior Welterweight Championship, Chop Chop Corley.
So as expected, it's DeMarcus Corley walking out of here in Miami, still the champion. Join us for all the action ahead on Showtime. Steve and Bobby tonight from London a little bit later. This is part one of our double feature. We hope you enjoyed it. So for Steve Farhood.